Have you ever felt like you've hit rock bottom? Like every door you knock on just slams shut in your face? If you have, then you need to hear Ahmed's story. It's a story that proves even the toughest rejections can lead to your greatest triumphs. Ahmed was just like many of us, full of dreams and ready to work hard. He graduated with high hopes, polished his resume, and started applying for jobs. The first rejection letter stung, but he shook it off. The second, third, and 10th were harder. Soon, his inbox was a graveyard of "We regret to inform you, and we've decided to move forward with other candidates." The initial optimism faded, replaced by a gnawing doubt. Was he not good enough? Did he waste all those years studying? It's a lonely feeling watching your friends get job offers while you're stuck in a cycle of applications and rejections. Every no felt like a personal failure, chipping away at his confidence until he felt completely lost. One evening, sitting with his family, his mother tried to lift his spirits. "Ahmed," she said, her voice warm, "you have so many talents. Maybe you're knocking on the wrong doors. Not try to build your own door." Words planted a small seed of an idea. Ahmed had always loved cooking, especially the traditional recipes passed down from his grandmother. What if he could turn that passion into a business? The thought was both exciting and terrifying. He had no business experience, no capital, just a love for food and a desperate need for a new direction. He decided to start small. He would make two things he knew best: savory meat pies and sweet date bars. He spent days perfecting the recipes, pouring all his frustration and hope into the dough and fillings. The kitchen became his sanctuary. The aroma of spices and baking bread was a welcome change from the sterile silence of his laptop screen. He calculated his costs, used his meager savings to buy ingredients, and prepared his first batch. He was proud of his creations. Pies were golden and flaky, the date bars perfectly sweet and chewy. This had to work. His plan was simple: go to the busiest local market and sell his goods. He imagined people flocking to his stall, captivated by the delicious smells. He envisioned selling out in an hour, his pockets full, his confidence restored. The reality, however, was brutally different. He set up a small, wobbly table at a corner of the bustling market. People rushed past him, their eyes fixed on established vendors, their ears deaf to his hopeful calls of freshly baked pies, delicious date bars. For hours he stood there, the sun beating down on him, his initial excitement slowly curdling into despair. People would glance, maybe even sniff the air, but no one stopped. No one bought a single thing. As the day ended, he packed up his unsold food, his heart heavier than his unsold inventory. The failure was public, humiliating, and crushing. He had not only failed to get a job, but he had also failed at his own venture. That night he felt lower than ever. He had invested his last bit of money and hope, and it had all amounted to nothing. He was ready to give up, to throw in the towel and accept that maybe he just wasn't meant to succeed. But as he sat there, staring at the boxes of unsold food, something shifted. Was it really the end? Or was it a lesson? He forced himself to analyze the day. Why did no one buy from him? His table was plain. He had no sign. He was tucked away in a corner. And most importantly, he hadn't let anyone taste his product. How could they know how delicious his pies were if they never had a bite? It was a painful but powerful realization. He hadn't failed because his product was bad. It failed because his strategy was non-existent. This was his turning point. The next morning, he woke up with a renewed sense of purpose. He wasn't going to give up. He was going to get smarter. He borrowed a little money from his supportive sister. This time, he didn't just buy ingredients. He bought a colorful tablecloth and a large, hand-painted sign that read "Ahmed's Bites," a taste of tradition. And he had a new secret weapon: free samples. He spent the entire day baking again, but this time with a clear plan. He knew it wasn't just about the food. It was about the experience. He returned to the same market, but he chose a better spot, right near a main walkway. He set up his vibrant stall, the new sign catching people's eyes. And he started offering tiny, bite-sized pieces of his pies and date bars to everyone who walked by. "Try a free sample of Ahmed's Bites," he called out, a genuine smile on his face. At first, people were hesitant. But then, one person tried a piece of the date bar. Their eyes widened in surprise. "Wow, this is amazing," they said, and bought a whole box. That one sale was like a spark. Others saw, grew curious, and stopped to try a sample. The magic of his food began to work. The savory, spiced filling of the meat pies and the rich, natural sweetness of the date bars spoke for themselves. Soon a small crowd had gathered around his table. The sound of happy customers and the rustling of paper bags replaced the crushing silence of his first attempt. He talked to people, shared the story behind his grandmother's recipes, and connected with them not just as a seller, but as a person sharing his passion. By the end of the day, he had sold every single item. He was exhausted, but his heart was soaring. This was the true beginning of Ahmed's Bites. He reinvested his earnings, expanded his menu, and continued to learn. He learned about customer service, about marketing, about managing his finances. It wasn't easy. There were days when sales were slow, days when an entire batch of dough wouldn't rise, days filled with self-doubt. But every time he felt discouraged, he remembered that first disastrous day at the market. He remembered how it felt to fail, and how it felt to learn from that failure. That memory became his fuel. Word of mouth spread like wildfire. People started coming to the market specifically for Ahmed's Bites. He started taking catering orders for parties and office events. His small table at the market eventually grew into a permanent, beloved food stall. Ahmed, the young man who couldn't get a single job offer, was now a business owner, an employer, a success story in his community. He had built his own door, just as his mother had suggested. And it was a door that was open to everyone, offering them a delicious taste of tradition and perseverance. Ahmed's story is a powerful reminder for all of us. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Every rejection, every setback, every unsold pie is a lesson in disguise, waiting to be learned. It's easy to lose hope when faced with repeated disappointment, but true strength lies in our ability to get back up, analyze our mistakes, and try again with more wisdom and a better strategy. Your passion, your unique talents, they are your greatest assets. Don't be afraid to build your own door, even if you have to start with just a few bricks and a lot of faith. So the next time you feel like you've failed, think of Ahmed. Remember that your journey is not over. It might just be taking an unexpected but ultimately more rewarding path. Keep believing in yourself, keep learning, and keep moving forward. Your Ahmed's Bites moment could be just around the corner. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that celebrates the power of the human spirit. See you in the next video.